If I want to connect a modem and mouse to the computer system, I need to use serial port. Why we require this kind of ports in our motherboard? So this VGA port is mainly used to connect monitor to the motherboard system. So bus is nothing but what? It is a collection of parallel wires. It will going to form a pathway. Hello everyone. Myself Rohini TS, Computer Science Faculty, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysore. So in previous session we had a discussion regarding slots. Okay, so there we had several types of slots based on the requirement. Then we had a discussion regarding disk controller. There we had a discussion regarding hard disk controller and floppy disk controller. Okay, so in this session I will be continuing with further components of a motherboard. Yes, that is I/O ports and interfaces, then bus. Okay, so now we'll see one by one. So coming to the I/O ports and interfaces, what do you mean by this I/O ports? So port is nothing but what? It is a sockets on the computer. Why we require this kinds of port? It is mainly used to connect external devices into the computer. Okay, it can be either any input devices or output devices. So mainly it is used to connect external devices like printers, keyboard or scanner. Okay, it could be either input device or output device. Then there are several types of I/O ports. Mainly it consists of what? Serial port, then parallel port and then USB port along with VGA port. Now we'll see what do you mean by this serial port. So coming to the serial port, as the name indicates, so serial port is also known as communication port. That is also known as COM. Okay, so and it has another name, that is RS-232C ports. So why we require this kind of serial port? It is mainly used to connect a communication devices like mouse and modem to the motherboard. If I want to connect a modem and mouse to the computer system, I need to use serial port. Okay, so serial port is also known as RS-232C port, and we have another name, that is COM port. That is mainly used for the communication purpose. Okay, so as the name indicates, serial in the sense it will going to send or it will going to transfer the data one bit at a time. Okay, already you know that what do you mean by bit? It can be either 0 or 1. So this mainly used to transfer a data serially, that will be takes place one bit at a time. If I want to send 2 bits of data, okay, then there will be a 2 transformations or 2 transaction will takes place in the serial port. So here the main advantage of using this is it will going to receive and it will going to send the data in a 2 lines. If I want to send the data, then it will going to take one path. If I want to receive the data, then also it will going to take another part. That means what? The data will be transferred only in the 2 lines. Okay. So here you can see the image of serial port. Mainly used to transfers the data between the components one bit at a time. That is known as what? Serial port. Okay. So these kind of questions are important for 2 marks questions. So let me get into the next port, that is parallel port. Okay. Parallel port is mainly used to connect external devices or output devices. Mainly it is used to connect printer to the computer system. So it is mainly used to connect printer or scanner, and this parallel port is also known as printer port. Why we call this as a printer port? There I am going to use this port in order to connect printer to the computer system. So that it is also known as what? Printer port. In serial port, there is a possibility to transfer the 1 bit of data at a time. But if I consider this parallel port, I am able to transfer 1 byte of data at a time. Okay, so there is a difference between bit and byte. What do you mean by bit? It can be either 0 or 1. But what do you mean by byte? That is a collection or group of 8 bits. Okay, if I add all or if I combine 8 bits, then I can call that as what? 1 byte. With the help of this parallel port, I am able to transfer 1 byte of data at a time. Okay, so that is the main thing that you have to keep it in mind. So 8-bit is nothing but what? 1 byte of a data. So instead of sending all the 8-bit data in 8 lines, I can send 1 byte of data in a single line with the help of this parallel port. Okay, so that will be the advantage while comparing this parallel port with a serial port. Then this parallel port comes in the form of 25-pin power connector. Okay, so by using this 25-pin connector, we are able to connect scanner or printer to the computer system. So here you can see the image of parallel port. Okay, there we have what? 25-pin, which is mainly used to connect printer or scanner to the computer system. So let me get into the next important port, that is USB port. Okay, so this is very important question for 3 marks. What do you mean by USB? And explain the working procedure of USB. Or there will be a question like abbreviation of USB and then why we call USB as a plug and play device. Okay, now we'll see what do you mean by this USB and how it will going to work, why we call this as a plug and play interface. So coming to the USB, what is the abbreviation of USB here? That is Universal Serial Bus. This is mainly used to connect a variety of peripherals. So as I told earlier, peripheral is nothing but what? It will be a combination of input devices, output devices along with a secondary memory, right? That is known as what? Peripheral devices. If I want to communicate or if I want to connect external devices into the computer system, then I can go with this USB port. Okay, so I am able to connect speaker, web cameras or printer or any other external devices into the computer system with the help of this USB port. So mainly this is USB port is nothing but what? It is a single, standardized and easy to use. It is mainly what? Easy to use a way in order to connect a newer peripheral devices into the computer system. Apart from input output devices and memory, if I want to connect any external devices or if I want to connect any new peripheral to the computer system, then this provides a standardized way of connecting. So you have to remember this point, why USB is called as plug and play interface. So USB is a plug and play interface that acts between the computers and add-on devices. So add-on devices are nothing but what? External devices or external components of the computer system. So with the help of that, I can include or I can communicate with printer, scanner, speaker, web cameras like that. Okay, why we call USB as a plug and play device? That is very important question. USB is called as a plug and play device because it will act as an interface. That means it acts as an interface between the computer system and with the help of this USB cable, I can directly communicate with the computer with the external devices. External devices can be easily communicate with a computer system with the interface of USB. That's why USB is known as what? Plug and play interface. So one more point. So when you want to add a new devices or any external devices into the computer system by using this USB, then there is no need of switching off the computer system. For example, now if I want to connect a printer to the computer system in that sense, then there is no need to switch off the computer system and I don't require any of the adapter in order to communicate or in order to connect the printer to the computer system. With the help of this USB, I can directly communicate with that printer or speaker, scanner. Okay, it could be any of the output devices or the input devices. That's why this USB is known as what? Plug and play interface. And what is the speed of the data transfer by using this USB? Okay, so this USB will going to support a data speed of 12 megabits per second. Okay, so by using this USB, there is a data transformation. Mainly these ports are used for the communication purpose. Okay, so this communication will takes place with a data speed of or data transfer speed of 12 megabits per second. So, and it also supports up to 127 different kinds of devices. So, coming to the USB, with the help of this USB, I am able to connect or I am able to communicate with up to 127 kind of devices. It can be either input devices or output devices. Okay, this USB concept is very, very important for 3 marks question. And also here you can see the image of USB. So by making use of this port, that is a socket that is used to connect external devices. Okay, so here you can see that we are using pen drive, that is also one of the external device. If I want to communicate or if I want to connect this pen drive to the computer system, with the help of this USB port, I am able to communicate. Okay, so if I am inserting pen drive into the computer system, is there any need of switching off the computer? No, right? So in the same way, this USB will going to work. Okay, by USB we can easily add the add-on devices and no other adapters required in order to communicate the external devices to the computer system. Okay, it's all about USB. So coming to this PS2 port, that is nothing but what? Personal system port. Why we require this kind of ports in our motherboard? So it is mainly used to connect keyboard, mouse, trackballs or joystick to the computer system. Okay, mainly to add or mainly to insert pointing devices to the computer system. At that time we require this PS2 port. Okay, it is also known as what? Pointing device port or mainly known as what? Mouse port. It is mainly known as mouse port. With the help of this port, I can easily communicate with the or I can easily add mouse into the computer system. Okay, so here is an image of PS2 port. This green color port is used for to connect a mouse into the computer system and this purple one is for to connect a keyboard into the motherboard or to the computer system. Okay, so let me get into the next port, that is IDE port. IDE stands for what? Integrated Digital Electronics. Okay, as I told earlier, you have to be very conscious regarding the expansion of each kind of port, slots, anything. Okay, from the first chapter, you have to be very conscious regarding the expansions or abbreviation. That will be very, very important for 1 marks questions. Okay, so that IDE is nothing but what? Integrated Digital Electronics. So this kind of port is mainly used to connect CD-ROM drives, hard disk drives or floppy disk drive to the motherboard. Okay, if I want to communicate with all those kind of things, then I require this IDE port. So on here you can see the image of IDE port here. So coming to the AGP port, already we had a discussion regarding AGP slot, accelerated graphic port. Here AGP is nothing but what? Accelerated graphic port. It is mainly to improve the video quality performance or video quality of a system. Okay, which is mainly used for gaming purpose or virtual reality or for 3D accelerators. Okay, in order to improve those performance, we have a port called AGP port. Okay, this AGP port will going to connect a graphic card. That is mainly why we require this graphic card, that is used to improve the video performance, which will give the high speed video performance, mainly used in games and multimedia applications. Okay, here you can see the image of this AGP port. So let me get into the next port, that is VGA port. What do you mean by this VGA? That is Visual Graphics Adapter. Okay, so this VGA port is mainly used to connect monitor to the motherboard system. So in order to connect a monitor to the computer's video card, at that time we require this VGA port. Okay, you might have seen this kind of port in your computer system. It is similar to serial port. Okay, there we have pins, but here in this VGA we have holes. Okay, so this VGA port consists of what? 15 holes in it. So coming to the next port, that is modem. What is the abbreviation of modem? That is modulator and demodulator. So if I want to connect a computer system or personal computer to the telephone network, then I require this modem. Okay, here you can see the image of modem, which is mainly used to connect a computer system to the telephone network. Coming to the next port, that is Ethernet port or Ethernet port. So this mainly used to connect a network and high-speed internet to the computer system. If I want to have a high speed of internet or networking things to the computer system, at that time I require this Ethernet port or Ethernet port. Okay, so data transfers. So how the data transfers or data travels with the help of this Ethernet port is, it has a speed up to 10 megabits to 1000 megabits. It is mainly based on the bandwidth or quality of a network. It will be varies from device to device or from the area. Ethernet port is mainly used to connect a network into the computer system or any internet to the computer system. So the data transfers varies from 10 Mbps to 1000 Mbps. Or that is nothing but what? 10 megabits per second to 1000 megabits per second. It varies based on the bandwidth. Let me get into the next port, that is MIDI port. What is this MIDI? As the name indicates, it is a musical instrument digital interface. Okay, so this MIDI port is mainly used to connect or to transmit the data between the computer and musical instruments. Okay, if I am able to connect a musical instrument to the computer system with the help of this MIDI port. You would have seen these kind of port in orchestras or DJs. Okay, so these kind of ports will be used in those areas. When I want to transmit a data or when I want to transfer the data between the computer system to any other musical instrument, at that time I require this MIDI port. It's all about the port. Okay, so port is nothing but it is a socket that is mainly used to connect external devices into the computer system. Okay, there we had a discussion regarding MIDI port, Ethernet, then modem, then VGA port, AGP port is there, IDE port is there, and then PS2 port mainly used to connect mouse to the computer system. Then we had what? USB port along with parallel and serial port. Okay, so now let me get into the last component of a motherboard, that is bus. So as we all know that, can you name the components of a computers? What are all the components that we had in a computer system? There we have input units or input devices, then CPU, that is central processing unit, and then we have output devices along with a memory. Okay, how the data will be transferred in between all the components of a computer? That will be with the help of this bus concept. Okay, so bus is mainly used for the communication purpose. So it will going to give a communication pathway between the various components of a computer system. That various components meant what? Input output devices along with the memory and CPU, right? So if I want to communicate or if I want to transfer the data between the various components of a computer system, then this bus will going to help me out. So bus is nothing but, and you have to remember this bus concept is very, very important for 3 marks question. What is bus? What are the types of bus? That will be very, very important. So bus is nothing but what? It is a collection of parallel wires. It will going to form a pathway in order to carry address data along with a control signal. Okay, so this bus will going to give me a pathway in order to transfer the data, address and control signals between the various components of a computer system. So that is known as what? Bus. And you can also expect what is bus for 1 marks question. So that is also important. So now we'll see what are all the functional features of bus. So bus is a set of wire and each wire can carry 1 bit of a data. Okay, so bus is nothing but what? It is a collection or it comprises of what? Set of lines. So that has the ability to transfer a data, one bit of data at a time. So that we can consider this as what? Serial port or serial kind of data. So each wire can carry one bit of data at a time. If it is 3 wires, then how many bits of data can be transferred? 3. Because each wire has a capability or ability to transfer one bit of data at a time. And the bus width is defined by the number of wires in the bus. If I want to find the width of a bus, how can I find a width of a bus? The number of wires in the bus. For example, here I have 3 lines of wires. So what is the width of this bus right now then? So it is 3 wire bus, or the width is 3. The width defines the number of wires or the number of line which is held for the transformation. That is known as what? Bus width. And this computer bus is divided into 2 parts, internal bus and external bus. Okay, let me get into that one. So consider this as a bus. There I have 2 types, internal bus and external bus. Okay. So bus comprises of 2 parts or 2 functional components within it, or it is divided into 2 types, that is internal bus and external bus. Okay, now we'll see what do you mean by internal bus and what is external bus. So internal bus, as the name indicates, what is this internal bus? So mainly bus is used to transfer the data, instructions, and it is used to transfer the address along with the control signal. So if it is internal bus in the sense, it is mainly used to connect a component like processor, memory and input-output unit to the computer system. Okay, bus is nothing but that is mainly used for what? Data transformation, and mainly it will going to provide a pathway. Okay, so that there it will going to connect a components like processor, memory and input-output unit to the computer system. And it is also known as system bus. So you have to keep it in mind, internal bus is also known as what? System bus. Okay, so let me get into this external bus. What do you mean by this external bus? So the working of bus will remain same in both internal and external, but the way or the component which is connect to the computer system will going to vary. So coming to this external bus, it will going to connect external devices. So it may include a peripheral, that is input, output and memory, along with expansion slot. So expansion slots are mainly used to improve the efficiency of a computer. So that we require expansion slot and then I/O ports to the computer. So if I want to communicate or if I want to connect external devices and expansion slot or any other input output ports, at that time I require this external bus. Okay, so this external bus is also known as expansion bus, because by using this external bus I am able to improve the efficiency of a computer system. That's why external bus is also known as expansion bus. So that helps to upgrade the performance of a computer system by adding external peripheral to the computer system. But when compare this external bus to the internal bus, this external bus is bit slower than the internal bus. So system bus or expansion bus is comprises of other 3 kinds of bus. Okay, so here we have a bus and the bus is divided into 2 parts. That is what? Internal bus and external bus. And internal bus is also known as what? System bus. Again, with the help of this internal bus and external bus, so again it will be classified into another 3 parts or another 3 types. Which are all those types? Data bus, address bus and control bus. Data bus, address bus and control bus. Okay, so bus will going to divide into two types, that is internal bus and external bus. Internal bus is mainly used to connect CPU, memory and input output devices to the computer system, and it is also known as system bus. Then external bus is mainly used to connect expansion slot and external peripheral to the computer system. Okay, by considering this system bus and external bus, in order to improve the efficiency of a computer system, again it will be classified into three types, that is data bus, address bus and then control bus. Okay, now we'll see what you mean by each type of bus. Yes, coming to this data bus. As the name indicates, data in the sense what? A data can be anything. It can be either numbers, any alphabets, characters, images. Data can be anything. Okay, so it can be either in the any of the form. Coming to this data bus, it will going to provide a pathway to transfer the data between CPU and memory. As we all know that if I want to execute any data and instruction, then that must be in the memory. Okay, then CPU will going to fetch the data in the from the primary memory, then it will going to process. In the same way, this data bus will going to help, or it will act as an interface, or it provides a pathway to transfer the data which is between the CPU and memory. That is known as what? Data bus. And data bus may consist of what? 32, 68 and 128 lines of wire. What is this wire indicate? If it is 32 wires, that indicates the bus width. That means what? The 32-bit or 32 wires bus can able to take or transmit 32 bits of data at a time. If it is for a particular type of wire, it will going to transfer 1 bit of a data at a time. If it is 32 lines of wire, in the sense what? It has a ability to transfer 32 bit of a data. That you have to keep it in mind. Based on our requirement or based on the number of lines, it varies. The bandwidth or a width of a bus varies based on the number of lines of wires. Okay, so this data bus can be either 32, 64 or 128 lines of wire. Okay, so here the number of lines refers to the width of a data bus. If the width is more, then the performance of that data bus will be increased, and it also enhance the performance of a computer system. More data can be transferred in between the CPU and memory for a particular time of instance. Okay, and it affects the speed. As I told, if the number of lines increases, then it also increases the size, and it also increases the speed of data transfer between the memory and computer system. So this bus speed is measured in megahertz. How do I going to measure the speed of data transfer, which is in the form of megahertz? Okay, it's all about data bus. So after this data bus, now we'll see what you mean by address bus. So while considering this data bus, address bus and control bus, you have to be very conscious that how it will going to interface between the two devices. For example, this data bus will going to have a pathway between, that means it helps to transfer the data between CPU and memory. If I come into this address bus, it will going to have a communication pathway, or it acts as an interface between the CPU and RAM. So why we require RAM? That is mainly used for the memory purpose. Okay, in order to store the data and instruction, there we require this RAM, right? So it will going to connect CPU and RAM with a set of lines. Set of lines indicates the number of wires, indicates what? How the data can be transferred, how many bits of data can be transferred in a particular bus. Okay, so how we are going to find the address bus width? So as we done in the data bus width, there we are going to find the data bus width by the number of wires or by the number of lines of wires. If the lines of wires increases, then also increases the speed, right? So in the same way here, address bus is nothing but the width of this address bus will going to determine with a maximum number of memory. Maximum number of memory location the computer can address. How many addresses are located, or how many address locations are stored in the computer system, that will be considered as what? The address bus width. If the number of addresses or locations are more, then the efficiency of this address bus will be high. And Pentium Pro, that is Pentium processor, Pentium 2, 3 and 4 has 36-bit address bit. Okay, it's all about address bus. Then what is the usage of this control bus? So this control bus is the last type of internal and external bus, right? So this control bus, why we require this control bus? Already we know that control, in the sense it will controls and coordinate a data transfer between the various components of a computer system, right? So coming to this control bus, it is used to control the access to and use of the data and address lines. There we have what? Data and address lines. So in order to regulate or in order to control those kind of data, then we require this control bus. Okay, so control bus is mainly used to control the access. So as I cannot access the data and instructions which is resides in the CPU or in the memory. Okay, there must be some restriction. So by using those control bus, it will directly going to standardize, or it will going to have a control over the transfer of data and instructions, or it will have a control over this data and address lines. Lines is nothing but wires that will going to hold the data or bit of data, so that this control bus will going to have a control over those data and address lines. Now you can see the image of bus here. So here we have CPU, memory and input-output unit. So as we all know that CPU is mainly used for what? Processing of the data. And this memory, whether I want to store the data or instruction permanently or in a temporary manner, then I require memory. Okay, so if you want to execute anything, then that must be in the memory. Okay, so coming to the input and output system, here we are not sending the data in between the CPU and memory itself. We are also sending the data to the external components, that is nothing but what? Input and output devices. So that here we also require this input and output. Okay, what system bus is comprises of? System bus is nothing but what? Internal bus. Okay, so together they are called as what? System bus. So control bus, address bus and data bus together called as system bus. Okay, what do you mean by system bus? That is nothing but a collection or a control bus, address bus and data bus together known as what? System bus. Okay, so here you can see the data transfer between the various types of a bus. So coming to this control bus, this control bus has a control over address and data bus, or lines of address and data bus, right? So in the same way, this address bus, what is the data transfer between the address bus here? So this address bus will going to connect CPU and RAM. Here you can see that. So it will going to connect CPU along with the RAM that is resides in the memory. In the same way, so this data bus will going to transfer the data between CPU and memory. Here you can see that data bus will going to have a control or bidirectional data transfer between the CPU and memory. Okay, so here from the data bus, the data will be transferred to the memory, and whatever is there in the memory, that kind of data will also be available in the data bus, along with the communication between the CPU and memory takes place with the help of this data bus. Getting? So it is all regarding the bus concept. Okay, now we are done with what? All the types of ports and slots and all the components of the motherboard system. For your examination point of view, this bus concept is very, very important. What is bus? What is internal and external bus? How the internal bus and external bus is further divided. After that, you have to explain each type of bus. That is data bus, address bus and then control bus. Okay, so it's all about today's session. So I will going to meet you in the next session. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you.